take a little time to think about a few things. So basically, one of the things that's crossed my mind recently is the fact that superheroes solve problems. And we have the opportunity to be those kind of Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Warwick. How
Good, thank you. Welcome. All right, so thinking about that, how do you see your role in making a difference in society? Elizabeth, I just mentioned about superheroes and the fact that superheroes solve problems. What is your thought on that? Can you unmute yourself, please, Elizabeth?
Yes, sorry, I've just come in, Warwick. I was on another Zoom call. So you are catching me by surprise. So
Okay.
what exactly would you want to know?
Well, I made a statement that superheroes solve problems.
Now, how do the superheroes solve problems? First of all, it's relationships. Because if you are working with somebody and you're in a good relationship, they open up to you. Once they open up to you, you'll be able to communicate. And once you're able to communicate, you'll be able to understand one another, and the person will be able to tell you their problem as you tell them yours, and you'll work it out around what you have, and you are able to solve a lot of problems. Especially there's a network. There's a multi-level marketing and networking. It's only about solving problems. And what I believe in is once a problem is created, it's always easy to solve it if you're in a good relationship or weak.
And problems are there to be solved.
Hello?
Hello, and I said, and problems are there to be solved.
Yes, problems are there to be solved. If there's nothing to be solved, it's like victory. You cannot be victorious if you have not gone through a war. You have to fight fast. So if there's no problem, what is there that you are doing? Problems come, and then there's always a solution.
That doesn't mean things will be easy, but Joshua, if I can ask you to come in at this point, what do you think, in your mind, is the most important characteristic for a network marketer to have?
Thank you so much, Ulrich, and I'm so grateful to hear your voice. Also, thanks, my leader. I can hear your voice is loud and clear. You asked about Karibu Sana. You asked about the most characteristics that a networker should have.
Important.
Your
mind.
I believe first is a good networker should declare to themselves with a desire to win and a desire to carry on, to persist and to solve as many problems. That ability to be in and be ready to solve many people's problems, and the ability to never allow themselves to be shaken by small things. That is the greatest characteristics a person can have. So the desire, and the ability to carry on.
All right. So what I'm going to is while you've mentioned that, because those are very important, because if you give up, you'll never be a good network marketer.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And you'll never be good at anything if you give up. So we have, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, for sure. I've gone through lots of networkers, and most of them, they tell you that there are times they feel like they should give up, but the moment they realize that giving up doesn't, add any value to the society, it's not of significance to them and even to the people that they serve, they give themselves a chance to go on. And at that time, that is when everything starts to, to work for them. So I believe in that, yes.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up to the rest of our guests to ask us questions about multi-level marketing, relationship marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. That's what we do. And so if you feel you have a question at this time, then please ask, and we'll get our senior affiliates to assist us in answering these questions. Madam Elizabeth and Mr. Joshua. What do you guys find as the most difficult thing to do in network marketing? What bothers you the most? Type it in the chat if you want to. We can work from the chat. All right.
I'll say a little something if you like.
Yeah, please.
Okay. What's the most, you talk about I think the thing that most people have the biggest problem with in network marketing is just getting started. It's like that rock, that rock that's sitting out in the field, and you want to get that big boulder, and you want to get it out of the field so you don't have to work around it. It's the hardest thing is getting the momentum going on that to begin with, so you can roll it off the field. You can push and push and push and push, and nothing happens. But when you finally feel it start to give, and you start getting some momentum, and you start rolling it, we all know that we want to keep rolling it because we don't want it to stop again, because it will have to start all over. So I think that's the way network marketing is. I mean, it's all about getting yourself and your team to get started, to get that boulder rolling, to start building your team, get yourself down into some sort of an organized way of doing things, so that every day when you get up, you can just start from where your comfort level, because you know where you normally start, and just keep building and building from there. I personally, every night before I go to bed, because I know when I wake up in the morning, my mind's not going to be fully ready to go the way that a lot of people's are. So every night before I go to bed, I make a list of what I want to get done tomorrow, and I put it in an order where the thing I want to do, the work that I don't want to do, the thing that I'm not looking forward to, is the first thing I get to do. And what happens is, if you get up in the morning, you got a list, you look at the list and go, okay, I know what I got to do. I don't even have to think about it. I grab a cup of tea or coffee and I can go to work. And once I get started, I had that comfort level of, okay, this is what I always do first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, unless I have something else I have to do beforehand. You fall into a comfort level of knowing what you need to do and how to do it. Okay. And so that's kind of like when I talk about pushing the rock across the field. You know, if you know in the morning that you're going to have to start pushing that rock, you want to make that your first priority, because that's when you're going to be the strongest first thing in the morning. And so you start pushing. And when you get the momentum going, you're certainly not going to stop, because you don't want to have to do that again. And it's the same with our business. Once you get the momentum going and get people excited and get people working, they're going to be watching you. And if you stop working, or you slow down and let that rock come to a complete stop, they're all going to do the same thing. So it's all about building with what I call an organized sense of urgency. You want to build so you can prove to people just as quick as possible that that our products work, that our company is a good company. Oh, excuse me, let me just shut that off. I'll call you right back, Phil. And again, you just have to have that sense that the only way things are going to continue and going to work for me and my team is for me to know what I have to do every day and treat it like a job. I think what a lot of people do is, you know, when you're used to working a job every day, you know, you have to go to work at a certain time, and you know, you have to work until lunch, and then you have to work until closing. And yet when we start our own business, we don't do the same thing. We get up in the morning, we find an excuse why we'll put it off for an hour. Oh, I can't talk to people this early in the morning because they might be busy. And then you say around 11 o'clock, you say, well, I can't talk to anybody between now and 1 because they're going to be at lunch. And then I got to stop talking to people around 4 because they're going to be getting ready to go home, and then they're going to have dinner. And so you close yourself down into this little 3-hour period where you're building your business. Okay. Treat your business like a business, like you treat yourself like an employee. Get up every morning, do what you need to do, and go out there and do it. And if you're doing this part-time, well, whatever that time is that you set aside for My Daily Choice, it should be sacred. It should be sacred. If every Wednesday from 4 to 7 is your time to do this business, then nothing else can take that time. That time is sacred to them. And so you just, whatever you choose to put into this company, you got to make sure you do that, and you don't just ignore it, because you'll never get started, and you'll never build. So I was kind of choppy, I'm sorry, but that's kind of my idea of how you kind of get things rolling and keep things rolling. And I'll say a couple of quick things about you asked about what's the most important thing, I think, for people is remembering that givers gain. In this business, the more you give of yourself and the more you help other people succeed, the more you're going to succeed. I was just talking to Elizabeth a few minutes ago, and I said, you know, the great thing about wanting to be having the biggest rank in this company, all you have to do is go out and find 5 people that you know are hard workers and spend the rest of your career making them wealthy. Think of that. Think of that. If you make every one of them wealthy, you're going to make yourself the top rank in this company. And imagine, put yourself in their shoes. If you were one of those people and you had a mentor that said, hey, I know you're a hard worker. I picked you and 4 other people. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making you wealthy. That's my goal in my life, is to make you wealthy. Can you imagine how great a feeling that is? That you got somebody that's got your back? So again, this business is all about just finding those 5 golden nuggets, those 5 people that are willing to work as hard as you are, and then spend the rest of your career making them wealthy. So
if I may come in, I've just been making some notes, and you've touched on 3 points: discipline, consistency, duplication.
Exactly.
Which are fundamentals in what we do. Discipline, you mentioned planning for tomorrow, the night before. Consistency is just the matter of doing the same things over and over again, which ties up with duplication. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented, and use it to your benefit.
Exactly. You talk, Josh Zwagel, basically with his 2.0 has built us our own wheel. We don't have to reinvent that either. He's created everything we need to build this business. We just have to follow what he's put together.
Absolutely, and that's basically where we're at. But our challenges may vary from person to person and from day to day, but the solutions don't change much.
You're right.
And if we have the tools, well then, and with tools was something we discussed last week. So that's where that is at the moment. Yeah, I think it's exciting when you sit and you look at the company we're working with. I don't know if other people feel the same way. When there's constantly new things coming in, we're learning all the time about something new. It's a challenge. It's a positive thing. We don't have to be negative about it. Dale?
Yes. I was just thinking of some of the things you were talking about earlier, and it makes me think of one of the biggest negatives I get from people when I'm talking to them about getting in this business. They'll say, "I can't sell. I don't want to sell. I don't like selling. Selling is not something I'm good at." And I said, we're not salespeople. We're problem solvers. We're problem solvers. Okay. You listen with your ears. You have a friend that says, "Man, I haven't had a good night's sleep in weeks." If I had a way of solving that problem for you, if I had a way to get you so you could get a good night's sleep, would you want to know about it? Of course they're going to say, they just told you they're desperate for something. So you've just solved the problem. And were they upset with you because you tried to sell them something? No, they had a problem and they were asking for somebody to help them. My knees, I'm 67 years old, and when I get done work at the end of the day, my knees are killing me, and I have a lot of friends the same way. And when they say, "Oh man, my knees are killing me," hey, if I had something that could help you relieve the pain in your knees, would you want me to tell you about it? What do you think they're going to say? Yes, of course I would. Are you an idiot? You got something to help my knees and you've been holding out on me? What's the matter with you? Tell me. That's not selling somebody something. That is solving a problem. If you have people that suffer anxiety and they're talking about the fact that, like, my mind races all the time. I just can't get relaxed. Anything along those lines. I'm on 3 different anxiety medications. God, if I could only get off of them. And you say, hey, if I told you about a product that I'm aware of that could help you on that, and I know of other people that have had the same kind of problems you're having, and it has helped them immensely, would you want to know about it? Well, of course I would. Of course I would. Please tell me what it is. Those are the type of problems that we solve. And all it is about listening with these 2 ears and hearing what people have to say. And people, we used to joke when I was a kid about my parents and my aunts and uncles would all sit around and they'd all be talking about all the different pills they were taking for this and that and everything. And we used to laugh and say, boy, we won't do that when we're their age. Well, now I'm 67 years old and I caught myself with my friends the other day sitting around talking about different problems we have. And we were talking about the pills we're taking, So anyway, we're all the same. I don't care where we are in the world, whether it's the United States, New Zealand, Africa, Asia, we all have the same problems and we're looking for people to solve them. Recently, right now, what's top of awareness around the world? Oh my God, I just went and filled up my car with gas. It cost me over $100 US. I can't, I've never seen it this high. I just saw a thing that says this morning, it said that gasoline prices in New England are going to hit $6 a gallon this summer. Okay. I have friends in California that say they just bought diesel and paid $9 a gallon. Okay. And so everybody's talking about it. And if you say, hey, if I had a product that could save you maybe 20% on your fuel costs, would you want me to tell you about it? Would it be something you want me to let you know about? And what do you think? I mean, there's always going to be that one guy. That one guy is going to say, nah, I'll take care of things my own way, you know? But most everybody is going to say, yes, if you got something that can save me money at the fuel station, please tell me what it is. You know, how long have you known about this? Have you been holding out on me? What is the matter with you? You know, so you tell them that we have FFX and what it does and all the things it does. And they'll say, the next thing they'll say is, how do I get it? How fast can I get it? You know, so it's all about listening to what the problems, the one problem or multiple problems that somebody has, showing them a way, showing them how to save money on that by buying it every month or every other month. And then you sit back and you have a residual income that comes in for years and years and years and years. And if you're saving somebody money on fuel and they're on an auto ship, or what we now call a subscription. If you're on a subscription on something that saves you money on fuel, or a subscription that saves you so you're not having the pain you used to have, or is allowing you to sleep through the night, or has saved you $400 a month on anxiety medications, like many of the people I've talked to have said, do you think they're ever going to stop using that product? Of course not. So every time you sell somebody one time and show them how they can save a little more money by putting it in an auto ship and just have it automatically arrive every single month, you've got yourself a residual income that's going to come in for years and years and years. And every time you listen to somebody new and they tell you what their problems are, and you go through the same process with them, they're going to add to that group of people you've got that are subscribing. And so each month you're going to be making more money and more money and more money and more money. And the great thing about it is you're going to be doing it while saving other people from problems that they already have. And what eventually will happen is many of those friends will start referring other people to you, and they'll refer more and more and more, and you'll have more people signing up and more residual income. And then one morning, some of those guys are going to wake up and go, wait a minute. I've sent 30 people to Warwick in the last 6 months, and they're all buying his products. Why can't, and so they call Warwick and go, hey, can I sell these products? Sure. How do I do that? I'll just sign you up to one of my affiliates. Well, let's get it done, because I'm really getting sick of sending you all this money you're making when I could be making it. You know, so that's how you build this business. It's fun, it's easy, and you're helping people either cure a problem or make money. So that's my long-winded story I started out with about how to solve problems. But you can see how just by solving a problem, listening to people, hearing what their problems are, and then just asking them if they would. If I told you about something that will help you, would you want me to tell you? And if they say no, well, that's the end of that conversation. But who's going to say no? They just told you they're looking for a cure, and you just came up with it, and you just told them you have one. So that's how we build this business. I hope that makes sense.
It makes sense. You know, we actually started this call with that superheroes are problem solvers.
Exactly.
And it's just that I've been thinking along the whole FFX story and superheroes, and I've come to this conclusion that superheroes are problem solvers, and as network marketers, we are superheroes to many people, whether we think of ourselves like that or not. That is a reality. We should never push ourselves down and say, oh, well, I'm a network marketer, therefore I'm not a worthy human being. No, that's not true. We have a lot to contribute to society.
Yeah, you know, maybe we should tell My Daily Choice is when they're making different things with their hempware, they should make some capes so we can have capes for our superheroes. You know.
Well, I can see the big gold X on the chest. You know, the power of X.
Exactly.
So yeah, these are things that I think through. I know a lot has to go through compliance, but that's something else. But yeah, and nobody says you can't have fun while you're doing this business.
I have fun in this business every day, and I meet people that are going to be my friends for a lifetime. I mean, what as an offshoot to building this business, making friends and having fun, God, those are terrible things, aren't they?
You know, I walked into a spare shop, an auto spares shop today to get some stuff to service a vehicle, and I spoke to the owner. Just briefly mentioned about FFX to him. He says, "Listen, when you've got some of it, come to me. We can talk." And that's the reality of where everything is at the moment. Be willing to talk to people. That's something we all have to do.
You're right.
All right. Yeah, I see this. Hopefully, that. What is the equivalent of a gallon in liters? It's 3.78 liters. Does that help? That was Hedy. Hedy, does that help you? Is Hedy there? All right, 3.78 liters is a gallon. 7.39 milliliters is 1/4 ounce. All right.
There, can
That's that help.
thank you.
All right. Do you have any questions? All right.
Maybe ask Warwick. Maybe ask what are everybody's biggest challenges in building this business.
Let's open that up and let's see the biggest challenges. I see Elizabeth.
Yeah, maybe.
What happened? Elizabeth, unmute yourself, please. What are your biggest challenges? All right. Anybody else want to share their biggest challenges? You're back with us, Elizabeth.
Yes, I'm back. Somebody tried to call me, so I'm telling them, jump into the Zoom. Okay, now, the biggest challenge in Kenya right now is that people do not believe, we don't believe we can. My own challenge is because I've been a networker. I've done other networks before. There have been a lot of issues with network. So when you try to talk to somebody about what you are doing, they want to relate it with what was there before. So someone says, oh, is this network? I've heard of this network. They don't work. And now to convince a person that it is not the company that is not working, it is you. Nothing can work. It's you to put a lot of effort into it. Now, the best thing is, out of the challenges we are having, we have products in MDC that work. Because previously, I would get a product and I would market it. Then the next thing is, I find that I have not solved anybody's problem. So I want to hide. Because I told them it would work, it never worked. So I've had challenges, Warwick, because I've been in networks and products that are not working. Secondly, I've had compensation plans that are not real. You work, you work your butt out and not a penny to your name. So now we are in MDC, we are trying to show people what Dale has exactly been talking to us about this evening. We look for the problems people have, we sit with that, and we tell them, just try this. There's a 60 days money back guarantee. That one is working for us because you say, take this shield, see how it works on you. If it doesn't work for 60 days, come back and let me know. So the challenges that we have had before, maybe some people here can tell us what they are going through, because everybody has got something that that is messing their network, and maybe that way we can be able to sort it out. Okay, Warwick, back to you.
Thank you. So I jotted something down here, and while you were talking, and then you actually raised the point, but the reality is in network marketing, there are mediocre companies. And we have to struggle against their reputations. But it's part of what we signed up for. That doesn't mean our company is mediocre. But that is reality. We are judged the same way as everybody else. A second. All right. And then you said comp plans. And the other thing that you mentioned was making it work for ourselves, which we kind of touched on before. So are there people that have other challenges that, I know Dale touched on something about, I'm not a salesman. You do get people that are going to give that to you as an excuse, but you're not asking them to sell anything. Joshua, yes.
Thank you, Warwick. I have a question, and I hope Dale and Elizabeth can help me on that. Is how do you keep, you know, when we start the business, it's always good to tell people that these are businesses that have auto ship. And you find other networkers, when they come in, they tell, oh, in our company, we don't have, you know, auto ship and such like. So you find it sometimes so hard to keep somebody, you know, pushing the business every single month for them to remain active. And how important is auto ship to every person? That's number one. Number two is, how do you keep the team motivated for the auto ship?
I'll take that. I'll take that to start if you want. Let's put this all in context. Okay, to stay active in our company, you need 40 BV worth of product, which is basically buying a couple sprays or a you know, depending on what country we're in, some CBD, a bottle of CBD, or maybe 8. Let's say a bottle of FFX. Okay, any one of those will get you so you're active every month. Now, if you're going to get into a business that makes you money by solving problems and letting people see what we have to offer, do you really believe in any 30-day period that you're going to make any money if you don't sell at least $100 worth of product? You know, again, people tell you they don't want to be salespeople, and I get that, but I just told you we're not salespeople, we're problem solvers. Do you really believe there's ever going to be a month when you're not going to talk to a few people that are going to be looking for something to solve a problem, especially if you're kind of keyed towards it? So to me, it kind of baffles me a little bit, because just what I use as far as helping me with my knees, helping me with my sleep, helping us, I spend $200, $250 a month just on products that I need myself, that I would buy, even if I wasn't an affiliate, I would buy it from somebody who was. So now that they've changed the rules, so it's either 40 BV yourself or 80 BV sold to somebody else for you to get active. I mean, that means in a month's time, you're going to sell 2 bottles of FFX or 2 bottles of CBD oil, or maybe you're going to sell 8 or 10 sprays, or any combination of all this kind of stuff. Maybe it's such a small amount. And I know network marketing companies where you have to spend $1,000 every month to stay in, and then you have others that say, oh, we don't have an auto ship. Well, that's semantics. They've got something you've got to do to stay in business, or they're not going to spend much time with you. And so whether it's buying, whether they call it an auto ship, they call it a subscription, you go a couple months without buying anything and they just don't bother mentoring you. If somebody changed the rules and somebody said, okay, we don't have an auto ship. What we have is, I want you to pay me 40 or 50. I want you to pay me $50 a month to help you become a millionaire. I'm a millionaire, and I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire, but I'm going to charge you $50 a month. But if you do exactly what I tell you to do, a year from now, you'll be a millionaire too. Would you give me $50 a month? Well, if you say yes, then you just you got yourself a subscription. You can call it what you want. You can call it a product. You can call it a service. You can call it a bribe to keep me interested in working with you. You can call it whatever you want. But the bottom line is, it's such a small amount of money for the potential. I'll bet you, if you have a full-time job and your boss pulled you into his office and said, look, I've decided that I've got to let somebody go, and I think it's going to be you. But if you give me $50 a month, I won't fire you. I'll go fire somebody else. Would you give them the $50 your pay so you'd still have a job the next morning? Probably. You wouldn't be happy about it, but you probably would do it. Well, so what I'm trying to get across is, no matter what you do in life, no matter who you work for, no matter what kind of business you're in, there is overhead. My tire store, I have to do about $80,000 a month in business to make enough profit to pay my employees, pay for my rent, my insurance, my taxes, everything. So I've got a pretty tough nut there. That's my auto ship. Okay. So, I have to make $35,000 or more a month in profit to break even. That's my auto ship. So when somebody tells me I can be in a business with unlimited income, unlimited potential, selling products that I know work and I'm proud of, and it's going to cost me $50, $60 a month to be part of that, that's my overhead, man, I'm smiling. I'm smiling because I don't know any other business where you can do that. So I guess that's as good of answer as I can give.
Yeah. And you made me think of something else, Dale. People will often say, oh no, with the product coming from the States, when we have to convert our money to whatever it is, it works out to a lot. My answer to that is, when you get paid a lot more than that. So it works both ways. Don't just look at one side of things. Don't just look at what you're paying out, how much it is. 2,000 shillings for a spray. Look at when you get paid back. You're not getting just $59. You're getting your how many shillings it is. So it does work both ways. So at the end of the day, what you get paid back depends on what you put in.
You're right.
That's my penny's worth for now. Is there another question?
I can add on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dale, for that contribution. Very, very important for auto-ship or subscription. I believe that every single month we have a chance to, help somebody every single month. So somebody encouraged me that you need to be a product of the product. So every person, if you're a distributor or an affiliate of My Daily Choice, ensure that you also take the products, feel good with the products, be good health, such that you can work for your business. And another way, because you'll be asked this question severally by other people, always tell them, in a normal shop, do you pay rent every single month? Yes or yes? If they say yes, tell them in My Daily Choice, you don't pay rent. You subscribe, you are given products that you can resell the products and use some and make the profit. So at least it makes sense to the new people who come in, such that they know the value of subscribing, and then subscription give them a chance to earn every single month. Sometimes it's not easy, but we try the much we can. In My Daily Choice, if you can't buy for yourself, you can get customers who can buy retail. Instead of you doing 40 BV or 90 BV, you can have 2 customers or 1 customer who can do 80 BV and you're good to go. It's just like you did it. Just customers who can do 80 BV and you're good to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua. So there it's outlined for you what can be done. If you can think of a limitation, think of a reason why the limitation shouldn't affect you. Because it does work like that. If you think about it positively, you will find the reason why you shouldn't be concerned about that limitation. If you say to me, you haven't got money, I say to you, the company doesn't charge you to register. And you can earn in the first month. You have 30 days before you buy product. If you can't afford it, it does work like that. The company has a solution for that problem.
When they talk to you, when somebody talks to you that way, they're actually answering their questions before you even ask it. If somebody says they can't afford to get started in business and they're 50 years old or 40 years old or whatever, if they're at that age and they can't afford to the little bit amount that we charge to get started in this business, that's telling me that they need another income stream, because if they're that age and they can't afford that small amount, they're hurting. I mean, if you're 50 years old and you're 15 years away from retirement and you haven't got enough money to be able to invest in a network marketing company like ours, what are you going to do when you turn 65 and you want to retire and you're not going to have an income? If I was 50 years old and it was in that situation, I'd be freaking out, because I'm wondering how I'm going to eat when I get older. Okay. And it goes the same way with when people say, I don't have the time. Well, if you're 40 or 50 years old and you don't have any time and you want some time freedom, how are you going to ever change what you're doing the way you're doing it right now so you'll ever have time? And if you don't have, you say, I can't afford an auto ship, or I can't, or I can't afford some of the products you have that would help me. They're basically telling you that they've gotten to this point in life and they're losing. They're in the game of life, they are losing, and they need to change something. The old adage about The definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Well, if you've been doing things the same way for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and you're telling me at 40 or 50 years old that you just don't have anything, to any extra cash or anything like that, you are admitting to yourself that what you're doing is crazy. You need to change something, or it's always going to be that way. So again, if you just listen to people when they talk to you and hear what they're saying, their reason for not doing this is usually the exact opposite. It's exactly the thing they should be considering another income stream, because they don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't want to sell, whatever it is. We have an answer for that. And eventually you get to the point where it just comes down to, well, do you truly want to change your life and have a better life? Or, and you don't say this, but you're thinking it, are you just plain lazy and you've committed to the fact that this is the best you're ever going to be? You know, comes right down to that. And most people aren't lazy. Most people want a better life. So we're just giving them away.
I just want to share something about the positivity of this company. I was speaking to somebody on a telephone call the other day, and they said to me, wow, but this company really pays. I've never seen anything like it. And I said, you know what, when I said that we have the best compensation plan, I wasn't joking. People just don't realize it and until they experience it. It's phenomenal. When you look at the amount of money the company is busy giving away this month, you have to ask, you know. So yeah, it's there. People that have done multiple different things before, and they come back and say to you, wow, I've never seen anything like it.
Yep.
So these are the positive things we have going for us. Got to love this company, got to love it. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything else that people would like to ask? This is a free session to ask questions, really. Elizabeth, have we answered all your questions?
Oh,
I don't
Rosemary's
know
not
why people, I do not know why people have no questions, because there's so much, but since we are running out of time, what I can say is no pain, no gain. If you have to do this business, you have really to give it your all. When I had a shop and I was selling, I had a boutique. Every time I was spending almost every money that I'm getting. So to make money, you must look for some money. Even if it's a loan, and make a way of earning it back so that you can have some returns. If it is about these autoship, it's important every month. Supposing you have a shop, you had a small where you are just selling milk and bread. You have to buy it every day. You have to put in some money to buy milk and bread every day, every day. You own this business. How will you make business and you are putting nothing? It's not possible. So let us be positive. Let us work hard. Let us own this business, and it's gonna work for us. I always say, I've never seen anything like my daily choice. 85% back. And the best thing is, we are not selling nothing. People are buying. We tell them about what the problem they have, like you started, how you started it all. You solve the problem, they buy the product. You don't have to sell anything. We can do it, folks. We can do it. Let's come together and join more Zooms, learn how it's being done, and let's go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I see we've got one question, hand raised. That's Rosemary. Rosemary, can you ask your question, please?
Okay, mine is not a question. I just want, my question was on auto-ship and subscription, and it has been answered when Joshua talked about it. So for now, I just want to relate my experience with this, should I call it network marketing? Because I was in another one before I joined this one. And it is completely different when I joined this one. As you hear Joshua mentioned a bit about it, that people don't understand what is auto-ship, what is subscription when they join my daily choice. Even me, it was my experience. I did not understand what is auto-ship and subscription. And apart from that, the word affiliate is also new to most networkers. They've been in these other networks, but when they come in, we should not take them for granted that they're going to move on very fast. They need to understand the back office. It took me time to understand the back office, especially the webinar that Dale did on Monday, showing us how to use the back office. For me, it was a great blessing because now I can go and do, learn a lot of things at the back office. And I didn't know whatever was in the menu there. I could see them, but I didn't know what they meant, you know? So it took me a while because nobody was there for me to show me. The person whom I joined under could not understand all this, could not take me through all this. I struggled a lot. So if I could have joined and I had the video that Dale showed us on Monday, I could be very far. So I'm finding that when people join our new people, let us take them through the back office. Let us have Zooms of taking them through the back office, especially the leaders. You leaders, you need to learn and teach your downlines how to learn and relearn. And that is what will make us move ways and even skyrocket our business the farthest that we can. And then another thing we have here is people don't know how to use the social media. I've learned that in our meetings. So many ladies there, they don't know how to use social media. And we need to learn how to market in the social media, not only by word of mouth. We need to learn the social media well because we have these capture pages. We are not using the capture pages. We need to use the capture pages to send our links and market even, globally, because that is what is helping us to reach all the other countries internationally. So for me, that is my concern. So thank you so much for giving me the chance.
Thank you for that.
Good job.
Yeah, the capture pages are very important because that is your key to success. That's how people are going to be registered as part of your team. If you can even send it to yourself and then have it as a handy reference so that you're not continually going into the back office for the capture page. Dale, briefly, very quickly, before we close off.
I just want, Rosemary did a great job there. You're absolutely right. This is a type of business where we enroll people, we make them comfortable by showing them where the tools are. We train them on things like social media when they're lacking that, and then everybody explodes their business. So it's she's absolutely right. So guys, just get out there this week. If you haven't watched that video that from Monday, it's out there, guys. I've posted it, and it's on dalefranklin.net, if you want to watch it there. Again, take the information that we give you, take all the training we give you. You've got fantastic products, and just go out there and let the world know what we have, and eventually they'll be beating a path to your door. So have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you to everyone, and everyone that was on the call. Thank you very much for being here.